Okay, we got two more sticker swaps. We got one from Hugh over at Wouldn't It Be Nice? Thank you very much, Hugh. And we got one from Stuart Farini. Thank you very much, Stuart. I will, of course, put links to the lads' two channels in the description below. Now, let's get on with this video. Okay, in this video, we're going to do another impulse buy for markets thing. This one will be especially for Halloween, and it's called a wood witch. We're going to start off with a snowman base. If you look at some of the other ones, especially the Christmas impulse buy things, you'll see what a snowman base is. Basically, it's rounded off, it's about 4 inches wide, it's about 8 or 9 inches long, and it's ready to go into the truck. Right, so I have this one already done. So first thing I'm going to do is straighten off that head part. Now, yet again, scratch plate. What you have is, that's the bottom, that will be the collar part, the head, the rim on the hat, and that's the hat. Don't make the hats too tall because they do have a habit of kind of overpowering the rest of it. Right, so here we go, scratch plate. There's the marks. Right. Now, the start of this is a lot like a snowman, okay? So, get the rim of the hat in. Head. Shoulder part. Right, and the dress. Same as before. Peel it down to close enough to the size you want. The wood is beech, by the way. Right, and same as with the snowman. When you get down to here, bring the cuts down to round about where you think you're going to need them. Round about the size you want. And that peak down a little more. Oh, I've been asked why I use a skew to do this, right? And that it looks like I'm scraping. What I'm actually doing is I'm not pushing straight in. I'll do it at that angle. I'm not pushing straight in like that, right? What I'm actually doing is I'm pushing up, right? I'm using that bevel and I'm pushing up, right? And the reason I use a skew instead of a bidan is I will use that much of the skew, but that I'll use that there as a guide to give me a straight line. Right, if you watch, right, using a quarter of the skew, but the rest of the skew tells me that I'm in a straight line. Now that I have that, first thing I'm going to do is shape the head. So, center, same as with the snowman, shape the head. Now, the thing about these is, with the snowman, I went for a rugby ball kind of shape. With the wood witch, the head has to be more round. Because remember, you're not doing a snowman here. They're much more of a round shape here, rather than snowman shape. Right, then go for the shoulders. Right. Finish off that shape of that head now that you've got that side down. Right, now if you look at the wood witch, right, this part, this side of the shoulders is a lot longer than this side, and that's roughly what you're looking for. Right, it just seems to work better, it looks better, in my opinion anyway. Now, somebody asked me a question, and sorry, I can't remember who it was, but it was a comment on the snowman video, that what they were doing was they were going to do snowman families, and what I suggested was that for the mammy, basically, that they do this kind of skirt on it, that they do a hat like was in the Venus video, right? I showed them a picture of a wood witch, right? And I suggested that they turn this into the top part, the shoulder part here, into a, into a snowball, but do the skirt, right? And I think that works well. I've done it a couple of times before when I was requested for female snowmen, and it seemed to work fine. Right, so now what you're doing is basically a cone from there to the outside. Bounce there for some reason. Right, see the way I'm getting a bounce there like that? Right, stop the light and have a look at this. Right, what I've done is, you see the spiral that's been cut there? Right, that was my fault, bad tool control. Right, but how you sort that out is lower your lathe speed right down and take a slow cut. And you can actually cut that spiral out. You won't do it at speed. Right? Now have a look. You see, the spiral is gone. You won't be able to cut one of those spirals out at speed. And that was actually a tip from Steve Jones, the skew master himself. Right. Then you can just go right and put your vinyl cut in. And there we go, swirl gone. Now the hat. Right, basically you're doing a cone. Try and not, the first few of these I did, I made the hats a cone, a perfect cone, and they didn't look right. But I discovered if you just, and again this is my opinion, if you just kind of bend the hat a bit, like put a bump in it here, put a bump in it there, don't make it perfectly straight, I think it looks better. Right, now as I said, at the moment it looks like a snowman, it won't in a minute. Now the only thing with doing this is to get that part of the cone to here, you're going to have to cut uphill, right? Just be careful doing it. All right, I got the tool that's a bit closer for this. All right, just be careful doing it. You get a much better cut going downhill, because you line the fibres down. For this one, to get the top of that cone, you have to cut uphill to do it. Right. As I said, put a couple of bumps into it deliberately. Right. Right, now take away the tailstock and finish the top. Right, and there's the basics of the wood witch. Now sand it. Right, as you probably know by now, this extractor is kind of loud, so I will be back after the sanding. Right, and we're back, and it's sanded. Right. Now I'm going to do something that technically I'm not supposed to do, but to get the effect I want, I'm going to. I haven't cleaned it, I haven't sanding sealed it, but I'm going to use Yorkshire grit. Right, okay. Lynn Senior is now shouting at the screen if he happens to be watching this, and so is probably Wayne if he's watching it. But the effect I want is, I want the grain to pop, but I want a dull finish, right? Now, you'll see what I mean there. Like, you can see there, you can see the grain, but it's not popping, right? But I want it to stay dull, right? Well, not dull exactly. I want a sheen off it, not a shine, right? And I want the grain to pop. Now, Yorkshire grit will take wood down a tone. Probably because of the beeswax in it. Right, it does take it down a tone. But as I said, what I want is a sheen, not a shine, and I want the grain to pop a bit more than it is. So I'm just going to apply Yorkshire grit as if I had done everything else. You could also do this with, get this effect with an oil, but because this is impulse buy, and as I keep saying in every single one of these videos, speed's the key. You don't have time to wait for the oil to dry. As you can get pretty much the same kind of effect using Yorkshire grit without using Yorkshire grit incorrectly. Is that, and you get the added bonus of the extra sanding. Right. Clean it off. See, I'm not too worried about the Yorkshire grit going into the pores of the wood, because it'll give me the effect I want. Yeah, clean. Come on back clean. Yeah, come on back clean. Now, do you see the way it's dropped a tone and the grind pops more? That's the effect I'm looking for. Right. Okay, so that's the first part of the wood witch. Now all you gotta do is part it off. Right. So start your cut and remember to undercut. Right, now you just have to sand the bottom and sand that little bit off. Right, and there's the start of your wood witch. Okay. Next part is the broom, which is this. Right, so I'll load up the piece I need and I'll be right back. Okay, the broom. I have a piece of beech again. Square stock held in the jaws. Now, a thing about square stock and jaws, I would never hold anything that's more than 2 inches square in jaws, and that's about that long. Any longer and it's not solid. Any bigger than 2 inches, and again, I don't think it's solid. Like, remember, all you have is you're holding that on 8 points. Right, 2 there, 2 there, 2 there, and 2 there. If you're going anything bigger than about 2 inches, this is my opinion. If you're going anything bigger than about 2 inches, put the tenon on it. Put a shoulder on it and hold it in the jaws properly. As I said, it's just my opinion on it. Right. If you're batching wood witches out, right, first, get a load of them to this stage. Right, I actually have a shelf of these just there, because I use so many of them coming up to Christmas. I just turn a load and stick them on a shelf over there. Right. Then turn them to this stage. Turn as many as you want to as many as you're going to do to this stage. Right. Then do all the brooms. It saves you switching the layout up, and it saves you time. Right. And as I keep saying, time's the key. Right. First thing I'm going to do is round this off. Left fast on the other thing. Now, when you're rounding off, to save yourself time, try and round it off to to the dimension of the top of the broom there. It just saves you time. Now there's no sense in me giving you dimensions because it's whatever looks right to your eye. Right, take that down. Now the reason I can do that and not get a catch is because if you look at my grind, I've taken the corners off, so it's not going to flip like that on me. Like I do some weird grinds. Right, now that that's round and round about the dimension you want to get rid of the mark of the point of that. Right, so take your tailstock off. Right. Now I'm just going to stick this light on for a second. I know it'll white everything out, but I just need to see here. Right. And get rid of that mark. Now remember, you have a lot of leverage here, so light cuts. All you want to do is get rid of the mark of the tailstock. Right, there we go. Mark on. Now all you've got to do is turn the handle. Right, pick a spot. There. And just start turning the handle down. Slight little curve into it. And just bring the handle down. Yet again, use your eye. You can measure this if you want to, right, to the size of a drill bit. But try if you can to get used to using your eye. It saves time. Right. And give it the same treatment as you gave the wood witch. Sand it and do the wrong thing with your scissors. Okay, and there is your broom. Part it off. Right, finish the exact same way and part it off. Now what you want to do is drill a hole in your wood witch. Same as everything else, pick a part that looks nice. As a front, I think that one looks better. And about there, right, about, what would that be? Half an inch down from the shoulder, drill a hole at an angle. Right, go in straight first, and then just tilt down. Right, you don't need a deep hole. Right, then get your broom. Push it in the hole, and there you have your wood witch. Right, quick impulse buy item for Halloween. Right, so now what I normally do when I'm doing these is I'll get them all to this stage so that they don't have to keep resetting the lead, and then I will do all the bottoms. It saves you having to constantly reset the lead. Right, so there's a wood witch. So I hope you enjoyed that one. So a bit of a Halloween special, an impulse buy Halloween special, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe, please, before I get into trouble again.